Hello everyone, I'm very happy to introduce myself. My full name is Phạm Hồng. I'm 40 years old now. I work as a teacher of English at Lạng No. 2 Upper Secondary School in Cape Town, Lạng, Bắc Giang. Taking part in the contest for choosing good English teachers, period 2020-2024, I would like to present my report about some techniques to correct errors made by 11th form students. First and foremost, I would like to tell you about the main points of the report. There are 5 points I'm going to mention. Number 1, participants. Number 2, main content. Number 3, novelty and creativity. Number 4, effectiveness of the initiatives. And the last one, commitment. The participants of the initiatives are students in class 11A9 at Lạng No. 2 Upper Secondary School in the academic year 2021-2022. To continue, I will focus on the main contents of the initiatives. About current situation, I'd like to mention the advantages. Firstly, the school board has been paying much attention to the teaching and learning English at our school. Secondly, most English teachers are passionate and enthusiastic in their work. Besides, learning English is getting more and more attention and support from family and society. Students' parents are more aware of the importance of English for their children. Last but not least, a large number of students take great interest in English and they spend much time learning these subjects. However, there are also some disadvantages. Firstly, a few teachers are reluctant to apply IT in teaching because it takes a remarkable time to prepare a lesson. As for students, I see that many students don't like learning English or find it difficult to learn this subject. They are lazy, unwilling to learn, and that is the main reason why the students frequently make errors when they do the test or take examination. Another drawback is the class size. It's too big. There are often more than 40 students in a class, so it's really difficult for teachers to control all students. Before I suggest some techniques, I'd like to point out some of students' common errors. There are grammatical error, error in spelling, and error in expression. In my opinion, there are 4 main causes of students' error. They are overgeneralization, mother tongue interference, carelessness, and language competence. In this report, I suggest some techniques for correcting students' error. They are self-correction, peer correction, teacher corrections, remedial work, and further practice. Firstly, I will talk about self-correction. This technique is highly appreciated in the principle of learner-centered at present. It proves to be more effective to the correction of not too serious error rather than important ones. It should be used by teachers in language classes for its benefits. For students, self-correction is challenging but interesting and useful. It helps students develop a sense of responsibility for their own work. Students become more independent and they will have a safer feeling after their test or exercise is taught. As for teachers, self-correction is a great benefit. A lot of time is reduced because when teacher receives students' written work, it takes them only an instant to see if they have it right. Moreover, teachers have a chance to know about students' ability to correct their own work. Another technique is peer correction. It is a manifestation of pair work and group work. This technique is beneficial for both teacher and students. Firstly, as for a student, peer correction creates a cooperative working atmosphere. They give them a chance to exchange ideas and gain more experience in learning. Therefore, students are less dependent on the teachers. Thanks to peer correction, teachers could be aware of students' ability in learning English at a time, so they find it easier to seek for proper ways in teaching their students. Teacher correction is the third technique that I would like to mention here. It is of great importance in dealing with students' incorrectness. In fact, self-correction and peer correction do not always help. When all students in the class are unable to find out the correct form of an item, it is time for the teacher to give correction. The technique proves to be very effective and time-saving. Apart from three main correction techniques, remedial work is another strategy to deal with repeatedly same errors. In fact, however good the teaching and however effective learning may be, there will always be a need for remedial work of one kind or another and further practice. They prove to be useful for students. However, it is noted that teachers should give students various models of exercises which concentrate on practicing different teaching points along with remedial work. In conclusion, there are many different techniques to deal with students' error. However, there is no single best technique for correcting them. The most important thing is that teachers should be flexible. They need to use different strategies according to the kind of error, the ability, personality of students, and the general atmosphere of the class. In this report, I also suggest two ways to give effective feedback. Firstly, it is the use of the marking code, and secondly, teachers' comments on students' written work. In the next part, I'd like to talk about the novelty and creativity of the initiatives. I must admit that I'm not the first one to apply the correction techniques, but I take great interest in applying the techniques in correcting my students' error. Firstly, because they are really practical. The techniques can be widely used in language classes in different periods. Besides, the techniques I have applied proved to be very effective. My students are encouraged to learn and they make more progress and get better results. Moreover, it is very easy to apply. I think that all teachers of English can use the techniques to correct their students' error. In part 4, I will present the effectiveness of the initiatives. In the academic year 2021-2022, I am in charge of teaching class 11A9 and 11A10. I have been applying the initiatives to class 11A9 since the beginning of the school year. It can be seen from two charts showing the result of the first midterm test and the first term test. Students in class 11A9 get much higher marks in comparison with those in class 11A10. To show the effectiveness, I would like to send you a video here. In this video, I have a short interview with a student in class 11A9. Madam, could you please answer my questions?
Okay, I'm willing to answer you.
That's good. Now, as you know, in many other periods, as well as in this one, I have applied some techniques to correct the errors in the written test. So, what do you feel about them?
Well, I find your correction technique very interesting and useful. What I like most is the way you underline and put the symbol to indicate the kind of our errors, so that we have to think about them and self-correct them. We become more independent and responsible for our errors.
And what about peer correction?
As for peer correction, we can have each other along to check and correct the errors in our written papers. What is more, I am impressed by the way you comment in our written papers. They make me happy and encourage me to learn English more better. So your comments really have positive impacts on me as well as other students in the class. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot for your answers.
In the last part, I commit not to copy or infringe copyright. Initiative taken and evidence of students' progress are truthful. I hope that all the best efforts in the fulfillment of the report will make a useful contribution to the more effective treatment of students' error. However, due to the limited knowledge and shortage of time, there are still certain limitations and shortcomings in the report. Therefore, I do hope to receive any precious and constructive comments and suggestions from judges, colleagues, and anyone who care about the subjects. In the last words, I wish my judges and my colleagues good health, good luck, and happiness. With this contest will be a great success. Thank you very much for watching and listening. For any questions or concerns, please contact me through my email address or phone number. Goodbye and see you again.